Check, check. Good evening. Good? All right. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for the 2021 Bram Stoker Award Banquet and Award Ceremony. We're going to begin momentarily. We are live streaming the award ceremony tonight via YouTube. I'm very hopeful that John Palisano, our HWA president, who could not join us, is watching. And John, if you are watching, we all hope that you're feeling much better, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you all. The excitement is about to begin. I'm very pleased to introduce this year's MC for the award ceremony, Kevin Wetmore.
Thank you, thank you. Welcome to Horror Prom. Wow, I love the sartorial choices in this room. It's like whimsical Undertaker. I'm here with my people. This is the first time we've been together to do this in 3 years. The last time we were all together for the Stokers was 2019. Yeah, give it up. We're back together finally. And I want to thank you for that warm welcome that you gave me, because the last time we were all together in 2019, the Stoker Awards were hosted by five-time Bram Stoker Award-winning New York Times bestselling author Jonathan Mayberry. And this year we have his non-union generic store brand equivalent. And that, no, thank you. That's okay. No, it's fine. See, when I was growing up, you'd go to like the department store to get Jurassic Park action figures, and you'd go to the dollar store to get Dinosaur Park action figures, where they'd have like Dino Scientist with Dino Buddy, right? So instead of a Jonathan Mayberry action figure, tonight you're getting bearded mesomorph horror writer, which, if you look around the room, thank you. As opposed to like the Jonathan Mayberry action figure, which is a lot of fun. You're like, oh, I finished this week's novel, time to edit a charity anthology. But first, social media. Like, I like to make him have his own adventures. It's fun. But I am totally cool with being generic Mayberry. In fact, I rap under the name Generic Mayberry. You can look me up on Spotify. My flows are tight, which is pretty impressive considering how hard it is to rhyme Joe Ledger. And it makes me very happy that a room full of people, I just made a room full of writers go, Sedger, Dedger, Medger. Damn, he's right. Of course I'm right. Generic Mayberry, what? I did tell Jonathan that I was going to do that joke, and he emailed me back, I will end you. But then the very next sentence was, I'm not going to be there this year, so RC. I'm sorry, streaming what? Let's just move on a little bit, okay? No, Jonathan actually was very kind, wished me luck. John Palisano, who was so sorry that he's not doing well, he's getting better. We send our love out to you. He was very congratulatory. Dean Coons sent me a congratulatory golden retriever. So now I have to take care of that. But she has powers. I'd like to welcome everyone who is watching us on YouTube. That's very exciting. We're streaming. We have over 160 people watching right now, or 160 computers. I'm sorry, what? Do I have to? Those of you who are watching on YouTube, please smash that like button and subscribe. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Here at the Bram Stoker channel, we post new content once a year. You can really help us out by leaving a 5-star review. We want to thank our Patreon members. You are really helping us out there. We post special content just for them. Coming up next month, John Palisano will be hosting a special on hats for the horror writer. What hat is right for you? Featuring Josh Mallerman and Tim Wagner. That is just for our Patreon members. Thank you, like and subscribe. Are you happy? We had to pay some bills, folks. This year we only have generic Mayberry, okay? We've had 2 years of COVID. We got to build it back up, all right? I do want to deny the rumor that every time I have a mic in my hand, I consider it a form of therapy. It took a lot of courage to tell you that. Let me give you some background on my case so that we can move forward before our keynote. When Jonathan was up here, he told his life story, which was fascinating and inspirational. And my life story is not. But I am a horror writer, which means I am an inventive liar who can tell dark stories. And isn't that more entertaining than a real inspirational story? You're a room full of horror writers. You better agree with that. All right. So I'm going to make up some stuff, and I'll also tell you some true stuff. I taught myself to read at age 3. That is true. And very quickly got bored with children's books. So I went to my parents' bookshelf and read Albert Camus' The Stranger. Because I thought Albert Camus was the title of the book, not the author, and to me it sounded like Dr. Seuss for grown-ups. Albert Camus, can you? A child's first book of existentialism. I do not exist with a fox, I do not exist with a box, I do not exist here nor there, I do not exist anywhere, I do not exist, Sam, I am, I do not exist, am I Sam, I am. Albert Camus, can you? And then I read George Orwell's Animal Farm, because I thought it was the transcripts for See and Say the Farmer Says. It wasn't. But as a result, I was the only Trotskyite in Mrs. Stackhouse's third grade class. Unfortunately for me, Mrs. Stackhouse, like all third grade teachers, was a staunch Stalinist. So I spent all my recesses in the jungle gym gulag while the big dumb kids stood guard over me chanting 4 legs good, 2 legs better. During my time in the jungle gym gulag, therefore, I started reading horror. And horror is wonderful. Those of us in this room know that. But as Jennifer pointed out at the opening ceremonies, other people don't seem to think that. That when you say, you know, it's bad enough to be a horror fan, but when people, oh, what do you do? I'm a horror writer. You may as well say, oh, I'm thinking about becoming a serial killer. What do you think? Because they're like, okay, not dangerous yet, but let's, give some room in case they make the decision right now. Right? My mother, who's a wonderful woman, okay? She lives in Connecticut. She's a grandma now. She's very happy. She was voted most likely to wear wool in high school. Just this charming old lady. And she gets together once a month with a group of other women to drink wine and read books because that's the law in Connecticut. And so they'll have conversations like, oh, Eleanor, your boy's a writer. Maybe we could read one of his books. Oh, well, his new one is a history of corpse-eating monsters. Oh. Well, Maureen suggested we read Girl on the Train, so maybe we'll go with that. Girl on the Train, damn it. I lose out to that every time. It's going to win the Stoker for Best Nonfiction. It's not nonfiction. It wasn't released this year, but it's my nemesis. Fucking Girl on the Train. Yeah, horror. They treat it like, it's a drug that we're all doing. Like, I was in high school hanging out with my friends, and someone's like, hey, you want to get Repairman jacked? And I'm like, you got F. Paul? Next thing you know, you are loving Wilson like you're Tom Hanks on a deserted island. You're at a college party. You don't care for the music. A whole bunch of toxic masculinity, dancing, singing along inappropriately. You're just sitting there. You're like, why am I here? I'm Stephen Graham Jonesing. I need something scary. And then your buddy's like, hey, I got some Primo SGJ back in my room. Half an hour later, you are tripping balls on demon theory and the world is well again. Yeah. And it's okay. Sometimes maybe you just read a little bit too much Brian Keene and your friend has to talk you down. You're like, they're zombies, but they can talk. Look in my eyes. It's going to be okay. One was named Dob. Shh, it's going to be okay. Yeah, that's what they do to us. But it's a problem. Why? Because we get it better than anyone. And I think the last 2 years prove that, right? The last 2 years prove that. We understand. We understand the scary things in the world, and as a result, we have better coping mechanisms, and let's be honest, better style sense. Yeah? Whimsical undertakers. People ask me who my favorite horror author is, and I say the Florida legislature. Not because I like them personally, but because they scare me far more than Stephen King ever has. Like, I read it and I'm like, it makes sense. I would have killed Eddie too. Pennywise has some good points. But then I look at Florida, I'm like, it's a horror novel about a clown named DeSantis. All right, far scarier. And that's why what we do matters, ladies and gentlemen. What we do is important. All right, the things that are going on in our nation right now, people read what you write. They read it, they see it. The kids who are being denied books right now, that are being denied access, they read what you write. And as a result, they feel less alone. They feel seen. And they feel, ironically, less scared. Horror makes them less scary. What we do is important. I want to close with one final anecdote. And I apologize. I'm from New England, but I spent the last 2 decades in California. So I've begun to experience emotion. It's fascinating and still odd. But I go every last Sunday of every month to HWA chapter meetings, and I have 2 young children. Yeah, they're awesome. And so this is back, my children are 6 and 8 now, but back when they were almost 2 and almost 4, they couldn't understand why daddy would leave one Sunday a month to go without them somewhere. Like, in my other life, I'm a professor, so they understood that because they were in school, I was in school, that made sense to them. But where are you going where I can't go? And being a professor, I gave them a needlessly complicated answer with irrelevant information. I was like, well, Dad belongs to a writers association that is organized around genre and locality. Dad writes horror, and we're here in Los Angeles. And my wife says, you're an idiot, shut up. Now, she is not the bad guy here. She is the hero of this story. She's here tonight. God bless her. Yes. Thank you, love. I love being married to her, and I love being married, because when you get married, you stand up in front of God and all your family and friends and say, I'm hitting that. And it is so good. I promise not to hit anything else ever again. And I am so happy that someone would say that about generic Mayberry. Like, that's a win. So she does everything right. I screwed up royally. She, first of all, gets down on their level, right? Kneels down next to the table and says, okay, Daddy is going to be with the Halloween people. And for the first and only time in my life, I knew what it felt like to be Batman. Because the way those kids looked at me, they say, a hero will rise up. I'm not gonna stand and wait. Yeah. And my 3-year-old son looks at me and goes, good, go. Now, I don't know what was going through their little heads. I believe they were picturing that a group of horror writers get together once a month in some sort of dark Santa's workshop to make costumes and candy. Like, that's what they were picturing Horror Writers Association was. But I love this idea that we are the Halloween people. All right, I love that idea. Clive Barker says there is no delight the equal of dread. Well, then we are the most delightful people on the planet. And dreadful, yes. Yeah. I love this idea that the thing that we embrace and dress like is something that other people, I call them muggles because they have no magic in their lives, that the muggles, for the last 2 or 3 weeks of October, they embrace because they've made a fatal mistake. Halloween is not a holiday. It is a lifestyle and a mindset. We are the Halloween people, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So it is my honor and delight to stand here before you as generic Mayberry, celebrating the Halloween people. We have some awards to give out, but first we have a keynote speech. The next person needs no introduction, and therefore, since I'm a professor, I will give a pointlessly long one. Linda D Addison is the 5-time winner of the Bram Stoker Award. And I got to pull out my old man glasses here, excuse me. For her volumes Consumed, Reduced to Beautiful Gray Ashes, Being Full of Light, Insubstantial, How to Recognize a Demon Has Become Your Friend, not just great poetry, by the way, an important guidebook in these times. The Four Elements, written with Marge Simon, Rain Graves, and Charlie Jacob, and The Place of Broken Things, written with Alessandro Manzetti. We should note that she was the first Black recipient of the Bram Stoker Award and the first Black recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah. She's coming up already. I'm gonna speed this up. Skip this page, this page. She has been named Mentor of the Year by HWA. I'm sorry, you've done too much. She's been designated. Touche. She co-edited Sycorax Daughters, Anthology of Horror Fiction and Poetry by African-American Women with Dr. Kenitra Brooks and Dr. Susanna Morris, which was a Stoker finalist in the anthology category. Her poetry is vibrant, sublime, and Nightmare Magazine calls her one of the most honored speculative poets of all time. I describe her as ferociously kind, and if you know her, you know what I mean. On a personal note, the life poems that she posts on Facebook are among my favorite things to see. They're koans that inspire, but also make one reflect, which makes me wonder, does she not know that Facebook is supposed to anger and disgust, not inspire? She might be doing it wrong. But it is my great honor to introduce her. It is our great honor to have her keynote tonight. My friends, please welcome to the stage our mother, our sister, our mentor, and the goddess that walks among us, Linda D Addison.
Oh my God. Oh. So you know I'm not getting an award because I didn't won them all, right? Okay. I'm just saying, you know, you standing like I'm getting something. I'm giving something up here. So, so Kevin, you're amazing. And you can read poetry. That's awesome. Anyway. Yeah, too much. Yeah, I know. I've been trying not to, but anyway, it's not about me, right? Actually, Kevin said a lot of what has been going through my mind when I've been thinking about what am I gonna do as a keynote speech. And one of the things that kind of went through my head was like, before the apocalypse in 2020, people had a certain vision about horror writers. I know because I would talk to people and I would talk to relatives and they just were like, oh, you know what Tanana Reed do? You know what I'm saying? They just, you write horror poetry, we don't really understand that. But now the entire planet no longer can deny the apocalypse. Can't deny the reality of what we've been all going through. And I think now we're more like teddy bears in our visions because the other thing that is scarier than us is something we can't even see. So I think that really didn't work bad against us. The biggest thing I want to say is first, I made it. And you made it. Including John. I know you're there, John. I feel you. That's really important. And we are here for the first time, right? The first time since the world seemed like it was going to crack in the middle like a comet hit it and just go into another dimension. So I think that's kind of amazing, just to see you all like here in person, not on those little boxes on the screen, you know? So that's really important. And I think the other thing that's really important that I've felt when I thought about this was, for these 2 years, we stayed together in those little pieces of things on the computer. We met, we kept in contact. We had our little groups that met, not just like the big groups. You know, when people in our community had some kind of a problem, we would come together to help. So even though there was a lot of struggling with facing fear of death in the universe of Earth, we were all like, we write about that all the time, what? You know, let me call so-and-so because I haven't heard from them in a while. Let me call so-and-so because I want to see how they're handling the writing. How are people handling being creative and, you know, being okay with telling each other it's all right. It's all right not to write. It's all right not to publish. It's all right because this is real. And now people are talking about horror having like a resurgence. Why? Because you read our books and it ain't gonna take your breath away and put you in the ground. Before people were like, horror, oh my God, you know, only people who like read it really were like okay with it. Now everybody's like, I think we'd rather read about Brian King's world. Because you know what? His books are not going to really eat us. They're not going to drag us into the ground. So the reality really, I think, puts sort of a mindset in people. And I think for us to understand that for me, writing the darkness and the fear didn't get any more intense. Might have added some like really cool dimensions for the future writing, you know, but for the rest of the world now, they're looking at feeling the safety of our writing, our film, our poetry, everything that we might create. This is like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get a book. And we'll still be able to breathe when it's over. That's awesome. This is a good thing. So I think that one of the things that I'm always left with now that we can actually physically come together and do this that we always do and see each other and remember, oh yeah, these are my people, my community, new people coming in. Hey, what's up? This is what feeds us, not fear. We grew up on fear. We ate fear for dinner. We got put in the closet with fear. Fear is what has made us create. And we write from that no matter where that fear comes from, if it's monsters or on the street, you know. So I'm just constantly impressed with every single person in here. Every single person is not here. People that I have seen over the many years that I have been in the organization and come to these things. People who are willing to go to that place that the world has lived in for 2 years and they're not able to get out of. And we're like, we're not trying to get out of it. We're trying to write a new story, you know, a new song. So this is a minute to really think about this, that you're here, you're creating, and it's nothing to be anything but proud of. The fact that you can go in that dark room with the monsters or on the street with the monsters or whatever, wherever the monsters are, and be like, and you did what? You said what? What did you say? and want someone to read it, because that's what we all want. We want to see our stuff in print. We want to see our name on the book, in a review, and we want people to read us. And so there's not a lot of denial of the concept of fear, you know, or the concept of death, because we've written it a million times. We've written through it a zillion times. We've faced our childhood, our adulthood, and so when this came, I'm not saying that nobody in here was afraid. I'll be the first one to tell you in the last 2 years. But what it was not an unknown feeling. It was a different feeling. Like, oh. And I think the biggest thing also is that it was worldwide. This monster didn't care how much money you had, how many diamonds you had, what kind of, like, you know, shiny place you lived in or drew. And we all write that. We know that. We know that fear doesn't matter, shadows don't matter. That's why we like to write from the different points of it. This is what we create. So I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's something that like, oh, I'm glad it happened, but you can't deny the reality and know that something good always comes out of a thing, no matter how bad it is. No, Will, I'm not gonna tell you, no matter how many shadows there are, you can still create something from it. So this is like, our lesson from this is the lesson that we've had from the first day any of us woke up and said, I'm gonna write a scary story, poem, song. This is just something for us to help the entire planet figure out how to handle it. And we're gonna give it to them in a way that will make them less scared. They know when it ends, everything will be fine. Or not. But not in the not kind of way they've been living for 2 years. So this is our magic power. Our creation is our magic power. Our ability to turn in and look at the shadows and say to others, here it is, and that makes them feel life. We write death and make people more alive. And that's all I gotta tell you. Also, you know I'm that one that's like more is more, right? Kevin? Just saying. Never enough. And the same thing for anything we do, but let's keep giving life through the shadows.
Can we be real? It's Linda's world and the rest of us are just living in it. And thank God it's a better world for it. Right now we're at the moment that I like to refer to as Schrodinger's nominees. You haven't won, you haven't lost, you're just there, you're both. And as a horror writer, I do want to preserve that sense of nervousness. But we should get to the awards. There's one thing I'd like to do first, which I'm referring to as the Home Alone Stoker announcement. For the past 2 years, we've held the awards ceremonies online where winners could celebrate their victory on the comfort and safety of their own couch and be applauded by their family and what I assume is at least 2 cats. I would like to take a minute before we begin this year's awards to honor and celebrate the recipients of the awards for the past 2 years. They were denied a moment in the spotlight thanks to the pandemic, and it seems only appropriate, fam, to congratulate and honor them publicly here tonight. If I say your name, please stand up. If I say your name twice, please sit down and stand back up again. You 2-time winner, you. We want to give you some exercise. If you need to applaud, go ahead. But again, we don't want the ceremony to go on too long because Jim and Brian told me there was a bar at the after party. But I do want to honor the people who just watched a video of themselves when they found out they won. So please stand up if I say your name. Last year, Superior Achievement Novel was Stephen Graham Jones with The Only Good Indians. Stephen couldn't be with us here tonight, but again, congratulations. First novel, Evie Knight with The Fourth Whore. And I must admit, I didn't read it yet because I wanted to read the first, second, and third whores first. I hate doing them out of order. Young adult novel, Adam Cesaire's Clown in a Cornfield. Stephen Graham Jones again, long fiction, Night of the Mannequins. For short fiction, congratulations to Josh Mallerman, One Last Transformation. Superior Achievement in a Collection, Grotesque Monster Stories by Lee Murray. Yeah! Lee, you may as well stay up. We're going to say your name a lot. Anthology, Black Cranes, Tales of Unquiet Women, Genevieve Flynn, and Lee Murray. I told you. Nonfiction, Writing in the Dark, Tim Wagner. Congratulations, Tim. And stay up. And short nonfiction, Tim Wagner, speaking of horror. Graphic novel, Mary Shelley Presents by Nancy Holder, Chiara DiFrancia, and Amelia Wu. Congratulations. And screenplay, Invisible Man, Lee Winnell. Please stand up, Lee. And the poetry collection, A Collection of Dreamscapes by Christina Singh. The final frame winner was Abracitos, directed by Tony Morales. The Silver Hammer Award was given to Karina Bissett and Brian W. Matthews. The Richard Lehmann's President Award went to Becky Spratford. The Specialty Press Award went to Crystal Lake Publishing and Joe Meinert. The mentor of the year was Angela Yuriko Smith. And for the Lifetime Achievement Award, we have 3 remarkable women, Carol J. Clover, Jewel Gonzalez, and Marge Simon. And let us remember it was 2 years. So here are the awards that were announced in 2020 for 2019. Superior Achievement in Novel was L. Going Back's Coyote Rage. Superior Achievement in a First Novel, The Bone Weaver's Orchard by Sarah Reed. Superior Achievement in a Young Adult Novel was Owari Mosaic by Nzandi, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight because of illness. Superior Achievement in a Graphic Novel, Neil Gaiman and Colleen Duran for Snow Glass Apples. Superior Achievement in Long Fiction was Victor Lavelle's Up From Slavery. Superior Achievement in Short Fiction, Gwendolyn Keiss, The 8 People Who Murdered Me. Superior Achievement in a Fiction Collection, Growing Things and Other Stories by Paul Tremblay. Superior Achievement in a Screenplay, Us by Jordan Peele. Superior Achievement in an Anthology, Echoes, the Saga Anthology of Ghost Stories, edited by our own Ellen Datlow. Superior Achievement in Nonfiction, Monster, She Wrote, The Women Who Pioneered Horror and Speculative Fiction by Lisa Kroger and Melanie R. Anderson. Superior Achievement in Short Nonfiction, Magic, Madness, and Women Who Creep by Gwendolyn Keiss. Superior Achievement in a Poetry Collection, The Place of Broken Things by Linda Addison and Alessandro Manzetti. The final frame winner was Drum Wave by Natalie Erica James. The Silver Hammer Award was Leslie Klinger. The Richard Lehmann's President Award, Rena Mason. The Specialty Press Award went to SST Publications and Paul Fry. The Mentor of the Year was Lee Murray, who I think can officially now be named Horror Prom Queen. And Lifetime Achievement went to Owl Going Back and Thomas Ligotti. So thank you all, congratulations. We felt you deserved your moment in the sun. But let's give out some awards tonight, huh? For Superior Achievement in Nonfiction, please welcome me in joining, yeah, I said that right, Cynthia Paleo and Grady Hendricks. And also, I want to welcome our horror Vanna White, Sarah Reed, who will be also helping distribute trophies.
Do you have shtick? I don't have shtick.
I don't have shtick.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I do want to say one thing though, which is that the nominees we're about to read actually work for a living. Everyone who writes fiction just makes crap up and writes it down. These people have to make sure everything they write down is true. So the nominees are.
The nominees are. You said you didn't have shtick. You had shtick.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shticky.
Shticky. Okay.
It was a mistake.
Sorry. Michael Nast, Writer's Workshop of Horror 2 by Hydra Publications. Danielle Olson, 9/11, Gothic Decrypting Ghosts and Trauma in New York City's Terrorism Novels by Lexington Books. Jeffrey Andrew Weinstock and Regina M. Hansen, Giving the Devil His Due, Satan and Cinema via Fordham University Press. Oh, this is familiar. Kevin J. Wetmore Jr., Eaters of the Dead, Myths and Realities of Cannibal Monsters by Reektian Books. Who booed? And Christopher Wolfter, Shirley Jackson, a companion by Peter Lang Publishing, and the Brams, I'm sorry, pause. Sorry. And the Bram Stoker Award goes to...
Sure. Michael Nast, Writers Workshop of Horrors 2, Hydro Publications.
In 2010, I was in Brighton and I was up for the award, and I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I was not going to win. And they called my name and I had nothing prepared. So tonight, I was going to make sure that I did have something prepared. I want to say thanks to Tony Akery, Hydra Publications. Have to say thanks to all of the contributors, because without you, this would not even be possible. Greg Chapman for that beautiful cover that I've wanted from for many years. And got to say thanks to Tom Monteleone and F. Paul Wilson, my mentors, who helped me get where I am, which is here. So thank you.
Coming up next, we have Superior Achievement in a Poetry Collection. Our presenters are D Addison and John Edward Lawson.
What's up? All right. We don't have a stick. I just like standing next to him.
The feeling is mutual.
Okay. So, we just going in. The nominees for Superior Achievement in the Poetry Collection are Apache Witch and Other Poetic Observations by Joe R. Lansdale, publisher Independent Legions Publishing.
Strange Nest by Jessica McHugh. Apocrypha.
Victims by Marge Simon and Mary Tozillo. Publisher Weasel Press. You got the long one, do it.
Tortured Willows, Bent, Bowed, Unbroken by Christina Singh, Angela Yuriko Smith, Lee Murray, and Genevieve Flynn. Yuriko Publishing.
And Exposed Nerves by Lucy A. Snyder, publisher Raw Dog Screaming Press. Here, you open it. I don't know who it is. I'm just making fun because I'm silly like that.
All right, let's see. And the winner is Tortured Willows, Bent, Bowed, Unbroken.
Nice. Hand it to them. This is when the whole gang comes up. This is like the whole group. Okay, I'm gonna go this way with you.
You go. Okay. All right. Poets write what others cannot say. This is a quote from a review for Tortured Willows by my good friend Lauren Elise Daniels. Before being invited to collaborate with Lee, Angela, and Christina, I didn't know just how much I had been unable to say about being a woman, Asian, and part of a diaspora. This collection gave me the space and courage to be not just unquiet, but strident. Congratulations to all the other nominees. I'm beyond stunned to be in the same category with you. Thank you to Angela and Lee for having faith in me. Thank you to Christina for your beautiful poetry. Thank you to Christy Kolsky, it's a bit bright up here, for your heartbreakingly honest forward. Thank you to Kara Starr for your gorgeous cover. And thank you to all the readers, reviewers, supporters, and everyone who worked tirelessly to bring the awards together. And thank you to my husband, Owen, for everything. Now, I've said before that all I knew about poetry before Lee and Angela approached me to contribute was limericks. And my husband jokingly challenged me to incorporate one in my acceptance speech, if we won. So I've had a bash. There once were 4 poets, unquiet, afraid to be loud and to riot. They called on willows now awoken, tortured, bent, bowed, and unbroken. The book's in the lobby, go buy it. John was just here, right? Okay, I'm going to do the rest of it. Thank you to Rena Mason, who launched us. And when Rena launches you, you're guaranteed to go, stratospheric. So thank you, Rena. To my mother, Pauline, for the title Tortured Willows. I'd also like to thank all of the real poets who made us feel so welcome and who endorsed and blurbed our work, and there are a lot of them, and many of them are in this room. So I don't want to leave anyone out, please. I hope I don't leave anybody out, but Cindy and Marge and Jesse and Maxwell and Jamal and Dan and Piper and Kyla and Stephanie, Brian, Rebecca, Sam, Sarah, Gam, Colleen and Alessandro. Thank you so much for your fabulous words. I mostly want to say thank you to my Willow sisters, to Angela and Christina especially, who kind of took on some baby poets or non-poets and said, yeah, you can do this, and for believing in us and nurturing us and mentoring us and telling us we didn't suck. And especially want to thank the prom king over there. Thank you so much, my darling, and my family for all their support. I'm going to read Christina's speech, who couldn't be with us, unfortunately. And this is from Christina Singh. Thank you to the Horror Writers Association for this incredible honor. I am tremendously grateful. Thank you, Lee, Angela, and Jean, for inviting me to tumble down this rabbit hole with you. It has been one hell of a ride. I would like to dedicate this award to my grandmother, Mary Tan Alu, without whom these poems would not be possible, and to my children, Jack and Jade. The future of our story rests with you now. And now mine will be very short because I left all my notes way back there at that table. But I do want to thank my husband, Ryan, who literally feeds a starving writer. So this could not happen. I would have to get a real job. I'd like to thank my children who sacrificed their mother for so many years, Dakota and Kara and Emily and Aaron. And I would just like to thank all of you because this has been amazing. Oh, and I have to thank my mother because this was probably the hardest thing I've ever written because I had to look deep into my past and find out all these other things. And it built a bridge between my mother and I, and my grandmother, Yuriko, who I'm actually named after. That is really actually my name. And I hope it's building more bridges all the time for everybody.
And up next, keeping it moving, superior achievement in a graphic novel. Nancy Holder and James Chambers are coming to the stage.
Paperwork.
Hi, James. Hi, everybody. I think it's appropriate that we come after the poets because, as some of you may know, comic books and graphic novels are the art of compression. And so I feel very aligned with poetry and poets. And it's a hard medium, and we have some excellent people who excelled at it. Oh,
This is a little bigger. Yes.
why didn't you read them?
Sure, I can do that. The nominees for superior achievement in a graphic novel are Saladin Ahmed, author, and Sami Kivala, artist. Thank you, Nancy. For Abbott 1973, Boom Studios. Do you want to read that one?
And I should mention to you that we are also listing the art teams because in graphic novels, they are equal, if not greater than the script, speaking as a writer of scripts. And the next team is Cami Garcia, author, Miko Suayan, artist, Jason Badnauer, artist, Mike Mayhew, artist, and that's for Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity from DC Comics.
Alessandro Manzetti, author, and Stefano Cardacelli, author and artist. The Inhabitant of the Lake, Independent Legions Publishing.
Grant Morrison, author, Alex Child, author, and Naomi Frankis, artist, Proctor Valley Road, Boom Studios.
Dan Panosian, author, and Mariana Ignazi, artist. And Unkindness of Ravens, Boom Studios.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to
Alessandro Manzetti and Stefano Cardacelli, The Inhabitants of the Lake.
I'm not Alessandro Manzetti. I know that's a surprise to everyone. So I'm accepting this for Alessandro and Stefano, who's the artist. I love both of them. Alessandro Manzetti says, I am honored and so excited. Thank you all for this prestigious award. I would have loved to be here with you, but it was not possible. He's in Italy. I would like to share this recognition with Ramsey Campbell, who wrote many years ago the story from which the graphic novel has been adapted, which has become a classic. Congratulations to all the winners and finalists. I wish you a great party. A big hug from Italy. From Stefano Cardacelli, I'm sorry, who's the artist. Thanks to everyone. I'm delighted to accept this so important award. It does not seem true to me. Thank you all. This day will remain a special day forever to me. I would like to dedicate this recognition to my mom, who passed away some days ago before he sent this to me. Thanks again.
Did you all know Linda could be Alessandro as well? Is there anything she can't do? No, I'm beginning to think she might be me. It's messing with my head, man. Here to present the Specialty Press Award is HWA Vice President Megan R. Curry.
Hello. The HWA Specialty Press Award is presented periodically to a specialty publisher whose work has substantially contributed to the horror genre, whose publications display general excellence, and whose dealings with writers have been fair and exemplary. The HWA is pleased to present the Specialty Press Award to Valancourt Books and its founders, James Jenkins and Ryan Cagle.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is heavy. Wow. Thank you very much. Okay, first I want to say hi to my mom, who's one of the 160 people I think watching at home on YouTube. Hi, Mom. And I'm going to keep this short. I just want to say thank you so much. This is really exciting. My husband and I started Valancourt Books back in 2005, and we published close to 500 books since then. And this is the very first time we've gotten any kind of recognition or award of any kind. So it's really means a lot to us, and just so grateful. Thank you so much to the Horror Writers Association for this award and the chance to get it here on the stage with all these great writers in the room. It's just tremendous. So thank you.
Okay. Coming up next is Superior Achievement in Short Nonfiction, presented by the lovely Tim Wagoner and the lovely Jet Strand.
All right, I know this isn't the HWA business meeting, but I would like to propose a bylaw making Kevin permanent MC. Right. And I would like to say what an honor it is to be presenting with someone as talented and just wonderful as you, Tim.
Thank you. Oh, and you too.
The nominees for Superior Achievement in Short Nonfiction are Dion Agnjanovich, The Three Paradigms of Horror, Vasterian Volume 4, Issue 2, Grim Scribe Press.
Cindy O'Quinn, One and Done, Were Tales, a Shapeshifter Anthology, Bridges Gate Press.
Emily Ruth Verona, A Horror Fan's Guide to Surviving Womanhood, thefinalgirls.co.uk.
Kevin Wetmore Jr., Devil's Advocates, The Conjuring, Artur Publishing, Liverpool University Press.
Angela Yuriko Smith, Horror Writers Architects of Hope, The Sirens Call, Halloween 2021, Issue 55, Sirens Call Publications. And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Angela Yuriko Smith, Horror Writers Architects of Hope.
First. I have notes now. Okay, I literally can't breathe right now. I think it's the altitude. I do want to thank Sirens Call for everything they do, not just for publishing that piece, but they're just a great place to submit to get your name out there. They just try to pack as many new authors as they can all the time. That's published by Nina Darkangela and Lee Foreman and a whole bunch of them who I don't remember. Well, I of course remember you. I just don't have you in my notes. And I can't breathe. But most of all, I want to thank all of you, because that piece is written about horror writers and what a hopeful bunch of people we are. And I came to my first StokerCon 7 years ago, and I was actually trying to get horror out of my system because I was writing Bible study books, and because they pay, okay, I'm sorry. But all this stuff kept coming out that was horror. And so I came to my first StokerCon because, well, it was before it was StokerCon, it was in Atlanta. So right before, and I was going to get it out of my system. And I left that weekend going, who cares about money? These are my people. I will just be poor. And my husband supports me anyway. So thank you, Ryan, for supporting me so I can do this. But thank you, all of you, for being such a rockin', awesome, amazing community. So.
I thank Jeff for his kind nomination. It's an honor just to be nominated. But did anyone else get the feeling that was a big not it? Thank you. Here to present the Mentor of the Year Award, J.G. Faraday. Greg?
It is my great pleasure to present this award. And it goes to Michael Nast. Don't clap yet. I've known Michael for almost as long as I've been writing fiction. And back when I was just starting out, he provided some invaluable advice to me that really helped me take my writing to the next level. Michael epitomizes what a mentor should be. He's always ready to help other writers. He's ready to work with them to improve their craft. And he uses his experience as a writer, as a teacher, and as an editor to craft something and build something that's better than what anyone could really hope for. The writers who have worked with him or trained under him universally praise him for his knowledge, encouragement, and honesty. I am proud to formally acknowledge Michael and his contributions to the HWA and to the horror genre in general. Michael Nast, the HWA's Mentor of the Year.
This was a big shock when Greg contacted me. I was going to talk about someone, but I know that I'm not going to be able to. But I do want to say that this program is very important. And Greg didn't tell you that the first anthology that I did, which was called Legends of the Mountain State, he submitted something to it and it wasn't quite there. And so I gave him some comments about it, gave him that nice rejection, you know.
Very nice rejection.
He sent me another one the next year for the second book, same thing. And then the third book came around and I get another story from Greg and I start reading it, night and day, completely different. And I bought the story, loved it. So I sent him an email and I said, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but what happened? I mean, this was complete. And he'd went through the mentorship program here with the HWA, not here in Denver, but with the HWA. And so I knew at that point that this was really something that was making a difference because I literally saw the difference within just a couple of years. So this is a great honor. And I really appreciate the HWA. Thank you, Greg, for this honor. Thank you.
Coming up next, we have the Superior Achievement in a Young Adult Novel. Gemma Files and Lynn Hansen, please come to the stage.
The nominees for Superior Achievement in a Young Adult Novel are
Kendare Blake for All These Bodies from Quill Tree Books.
R.L. Boyle, The Book of the Baku, Titan Books.
Jessica Lewis, Bad Witch Burning from Delacorte Press.
Crystal Sutherland, The House of Hollow, J.P. Putnam's Sons.
And Erica Waters, The River Has Teeth from Harper Teen. And the Bram Stoker Award goes to Erica Waters, The River Has Teeth, Harper Teen.
The Horror Writers Association would like to accept this honor on her behalf.
And coming up next, Superior Achievement in a First Novel, Evie Knight and Sarah Reed.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Evie.
Did you know that 81% of the population wanted to write a book, but only 3% actually do complete it?
I do know that because you told me this morning we were planning this.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I was really excited about that. You wrote a book, right?
I did, and you wrote one too.
I did.
Yeah. Didn't it win this award?
I did. Did yours?
Yeah, it did. But just once.
Well, you can only write one first book.
That's true, which is why we want to congratulate this year's nominees for Superior Achievement in a First Novel.
First up is Hellman by S. Alessandro Martinez.
Next is Latanya McQueen for When the Reckoning Comes from Harper Perennial.
Oh, I didn't say who. Rabbits by Terry Miles from Del Rey.
Haley Piper for Queen of Teeth from Strange House Books.
The Forest by Lisa Quigley from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing.
And Nicole Wilson with Tide Pool from the Parliament House. And the winner is high security envelopes this year. Ready?
Haley Piper, Queen of Teeth.
Hi. Give me 1 second. When people say Queen of Teeth is timely, I've been torn between saying thank you and I'm sorry. But I can easily say thank you for this incredible honor, especially when every book nominated in this category is an outstanding first novel. Thank you, Nick and Don of Rooster Republic, for championing it into the world and with their wonderful editing and beautiful cover art. And thank you, everyone who supported this weird damn novel while I went through a mess of writing it. And shout out to Sarah, Lisa, Sam, Laurel, so many here and at home. Thank you, including my family, and most of all, my wife, Jay, who shook her head with me as I wrote about a vagina monster to talk about bodily autonomy. But she also stood with me every step of the way, and I couldn't do any of this without her. Thank you.
right. Coming up next is the Silver Hammer Award being presented by Lisa Kroger.
One thing that I've really been struck by this week is the community that is here. And a community cannot run without people willing to work. And it is my absolute honor to present the Silver Hammer Award to somebody who works so incredibly hard and is generic and absolutely no way whatsoever, Kevin J. Wetmore Jr.
Yes. Oh, this is, oh, wow. Oh, thank you. That is exceedingly kind. I just had the same thought that everyone has who receives this live. Wow, now I need to check a bag. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but you can't walk up to the TSA and be like, no, it's okay. It was given to me by a group of horror writers for helping them with their work. So no, I'm playing. This is an amazing honor. I'm moved beyond belief, and I want to blame the models that I've had. People like John Palisano, Brian Matthews, James Chambers, especially Lisa Morton, who when I first joined the HWA 10 years ago was so welcoming and spent so much time answering questions and mentoring. Kate Jones, with whom I co-chaired a StokerCon. There are so many people in this organization who give so much time, and every minute spent organizing a StokerCon or running a local group. And thanks to Joe Kaplan, Joanne Perepinski, my co-chair of the HWA LA chapter. Every minute spent doing that stuff is a minute you're not writing. And if you're not writing, it's because you love the group and the people and the things that you're doing. It makes it so worthwhile. Brian Asman posted on Facebook several months back that people were like, why are you always promoting your friends' books on social media? And the response is, no, you got it wrong. I'm promoting books I love, and I become friends with the authors because of it. And that's what I love about this organization. And I've been talking a lot tonight, and you've just armed me, so I don't want to keep going on, but I do want to extend a special thanks to my amazing and wonderful wife, Lacey, and our children, Kevin III and Cordelia, who let Daddy go and play with the Halloween people, and who understand when I say, just let me send this email, to the point where that's sort of a mantra. That they have been kind enough to let me play with the Halloween people, and this is theirs as much as it is mine. Thank you. And now for superior achievement in long fiction, we bring to the stage Rena Mason and Brian Matthews.
I already know who won. We could just make fun with this. I'm Brian Matthews. I'm obviously not Stephen Graham Jones. I'm dollar store version of Stephen Graham Jones, who unfortunately could not be with us today. We're hoping he's feeling better. Okay, the nominees for superior achievement in long fiction are Violet Castro, Goddess of Filth, Creature Publishing, LLC.
Cassandra Kaw, well, Nothing But Blackened Teeth, Tor Nightfire.
Eric LaRocca, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, Weird Punk Books.
Haley Piper, Recitation of the First Meeting, Unfortunate Elements of My Anatomy, The Seventh Terrace.
Jeff Strand, 20th Anniversary Screening, Slice and Dice, independently published.
Let's read it together.
All right. I put a lot of glue on those.
I don't want to get a paper cut.
You want me to do it?
I'm shaking like.
Well, I know you are. I know you are.
I
Relax.
want to know who's winning.
Here. Oh. And the winner is Jeff Strand, 20th anniversary screening. Slice and dice.
I lost a bet. I've been doing this for a long time. It has been a long time since I was the promising up-and-comer, leading to the horrifying thing last month where someone said, I've been reading your books my whole life, or I grew up reading your books, and I realized the math works out. So receiving this now means a lot. And I would like to thank my wife, Lynn Hansen, and my crack team of beta readers who have, some of them have been with me since 2006, 2007. They make me not look like an idiot as much as I would normally. Todd Clark, Donna Fitzpatrick, Jamie LaChance, Jim Morey, Bridget Nelson, and Paul Scenaria. And thank you very much.
Coming to the stage to present the Superior Achievement in a Fiction collection, Joe Fletcher and Michael Arnzen.
Note to self, don't put the glasses on first.
Wow, this is quite an honor to present this award. You know, to win for a fiction collection feels like, at least it did with me with Proverbs for Monster, like I had been rewarded for a lifetime of work because it collected numerous stories I had produced over my lifetime. So this is an important award, and it really feels great when you win it.
You know you're not on it this year.
No, I know, but it feels like it now that I'm back up here. Why don't you read the nominees?
So the nominees for Superior Achievement in Fiction Collection are Gemma Files, In That Endlessness, Our End, by Grim Scribe Press. Philip Fracassi, Beneath a Pale Sky, from Lethe Press. Jonathan Maybury, Empty Graves, Tales of the Living Dead, published by Wordfire Press, LLC. Lisa Tuttle, The Dead Hours of Night, published by Valancourt Books. And A.C. Wise, The Ghost Sequences, published by Undertow Publications.
Nice! So the winner is any guesses? Go ahead, read it.
The winner is Gemma Files, In That Endlessness, Our Night, from Grimsby Press.
Yeah! Gemma Files, guest of honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh my God. Last time I won an award in public, I wrote my speech while I was sitting in the audience. I didn't want to jinx anything tonight, so I don't have anything. I am so grateful that my slim, depressing book touched so many people during this time of dreadfulness. I've often said that I feel as though In That Endlessness, Our End, more than anything else, expressed my own pre-pandemic and feeling that things were beginning to orbit a big black hole. But by the end of it, I felt that there was something humane about realizing that it was the same big black hole that we all orbit all our lives and perhaps after. We're all going the same place. We don't know what it is, but I'm really, really glad to have everybody here coming with me. I'd like to thank John Paget. I'd very much like to thank my mother, Elva Mae Hoover, my husband of 20 years, Stephen J. Barringer, and my son, Callum Jacob Barringer. Thank you very much.
A reminder, any unclaimed Stokers will be raffled off at the end. So do be sure to take your trophy. Here to present the Superior Achievement in an Anthology is Lee Murray and Jenny Flynn.
Lee and I have a special fondness for anthologies. Our collaboration, Black Crane's Tales of Unquiet Women, won us last year's Bram Stoker Award. But more than that, they're career builders. They offer newer writers a place on a table of contents with more established authors. They help to develop publishing credits and offer a taste of what it's like to work with an editor. They allow readers to discover new favorites, and if there's a theme, offer different perspectives and interpretations. Creating one is part art form, part project management. And although the editor or editors do a lot of work to bring an anthology into the world, there are many other hands that help to make it a success.
So as anthologists, you come up with a concept and you think it's exciting, and then you get a publisher on board who also thinks it's exciting. And then you might invite some authors, and then you might ask some others to submit. And sometimes you create something that's just, sublime. And that's because your writers hit it out of the ballpark, essentially. And so tonight we're celebrating a whole lot of finalists, all of which the writers hit it out of the ballpark. And although the anthologists walk away, well, one of these anthologists is going to walk away with an award, I know they all want to say thank you to the writers for basically hitting it out of the park. So the nominees for Superior Achievement in an Anthology are James Chambers, Under Twin Suns, Alternate Histories of the Yellow Sign by Campus Press.
Ellen Datlow, When Things Get Dark, Stories Inspired by Shirley Jackson from Titan Books.
Aaron J. French and Jess Landry, There Is No Death, There Are No Dead, Crystal Lake Publishing.
I've got the long one. Eric J. Grignard, Professor Charlatan Bardot's travel anthology to the most fictional haunted buildings in the weird, wild world, Dark Moon Books.
And Eugene Johnson, Attack from the 80s, Raw Dog Screaming Press. And the Bram Stoker Award goes to
Ellen Datlow, When Things Get Dark, Stories Inspired by Shirley Jackson, Titan Books.
I've always seen people read speeches from their phones, and I never did that before because I never had an iPhone before, but I thought, let me try it this time. Usually I just scribble something at the last minute, but I said, this morning I said, Linda, I'm going to do something. I'm going to actually write something down. Now, I'm thrilled that When Things Get Dark has received this honor, especially as the anthology is a tribute to one of the seminal influences on our field. Thanks to everyone who voted for the book. Oh, I'm losing my breath, and I don't know if it's the altitude or what. And voted for the book, and thanks to my editor, George Sanderson, and everyone at Titan who supported its publication. I'd also like to acknowledge my fellow nominees. You all rock. And of course, yes, all the contributors. I love you all.
Sorry, folks. Lee left her betting sheet up here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a pool going. It is now my genuine pleasure to introduce Stephen Jones, who needs no introduction and who will be presenting 2 of the Lifetime Achievement Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Jones.
Okay, first of all, I'm not Stephen Graham Jones. I'm the original. I came first. It's my great pleasure to be doing this award. I was thrilled when the HWA and the organizers of this convention asked me to present the Lifetime Achievement Awards, because I know we're celebrating a lot of new talent up here this evening. I love looking out at this audience because there's so many younger faces. There's so many people who, this is their first convention, and I love the fact that you have a badge that says a first timer, because we need, no joke, new blood to keep the horror field going. I've been to many conventions in the last 4 or 5 years, and I'll tell you now that this is the youngest, most vibrant convention I've been to out there now. World fantasy, British fantasy, world science fiction, those conventions are dying for some reason because they're not getting the new blood. But you look around this convention tonight and you can see the future. You can see the future of horror. But that's not why I'm here. I'm one of the old guys, and I'm here to celebrate the past. We stand on the shoulders of giants. There wouldn't be a horror genre. There wouldn't even be an HWA if it wasn't for the people who probably won this award over the past, I think it's 20, 30 years. Many of them are not with us anymore, but they did get this honor in their lifetime. And it's such an important award. I think we have to remember that these people gave their time, their talent, their creativity to create the building blocks that we now move forward on. Before we get into this year's awards, I just want to point out that there are actually some Lifetime Achievement Award winners at this convention, some past ones. So if everybody will bear with me for a minute, I'd like, when I call your names, to stand up and then applaud them at the end, because these people deserve a bow. There's the 2008 winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award, F. Paul Wilson. The 2010 winner, Ellen Datlow. The 2016 winner, Thomas F. Monteleone. The 2017 winner, Linda D Addison. And the 2020 winner, Marge Simon over there. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody, because I went through the membership list and that's everybody I could recognize. I got this award in 2013 from the HWA, and it was amazing because the person I won with that year was R.L. Stine, who I'd never met and who turned out to be one of the most amazing, wonderful people to hang out with for a weekend, and a great influence on the younger horror generation. Tonight's awards, I'm presenting to the two people who are here, and I'm going to get them to come up together because they're like sisters. Joe Fletcher. There's a lot of people, a lot of Americans here tonight, you probably don't even know who Joe Fletcher is, but for the past 40 years, she has been a dynamic force within British publishing. She's a writer, she's a poet, she's a convention organizer, and she has pretty much single-handedly revolutionized genre publishing in Britain. She's worked for most of the major publishing houses in that time. She has worked with most of the major authors in that time and editors, including myself. And more importantly, she has actually created her own publishing imprint, her eponymous publishing imprint. It's very rare for someone to get their name on the imprint of a book. She is the head of Joe Fletcher Books. And that to me is the most amazing thing, that you can imagine. Joe's been doing this, she's gonna hate me for saying this, about 40 years. She has made a difference to so many writers' lives, to so many editors' lives. She has touched everybody in the genre, created some amazing lists at different houses, and those books are still in print, they're still being published today. She is an amazing woman, given the fact that she has, as you will notice, some disabilities, but she doesn't let them hold her back. She doesn't let them stop her from leaping around and actually walking faster than I can, because I'm getting old. I cannot think of anybody who, certainly from Britain, who deserves this more than she does. On the other hand, we have Nancy Holden. I call Nancy the queen of tie-in fiction, because she, again, has revolutionized that type of writing. It was something that was frowned upon for many years, that people looked down on the writers of novelizations and tie-in books. But Nancy proved that you can do it, and you can do it so well that you can basically create your own genre just out of that, especially with the Buffy books, and then all the movie tie-ins and the other stuff on top. But again, Nancy is more than just that. She's a writer of her own fiction, comics, and a teacher. She's done, again, in the past 40 years, she has done so much to bring people through and up through this genre and added immeasurably to the worth of this field. It's, again, a great pleasure to be able to be standing up here tonight to present this award. I would like to say they're two of my old friends, but they will actually slap me if I do that. So I'm going to say they're two of my best friends. They are two strong, powerful, creative women who have been doing this for the last 40 years, who have been shaping our genre, who have been guiding us, who have been supporting us. I can think of nobody better tonight to win this award. So please, Joe, Nancy, come on up.
The first time Nancy and I met, we ended up arm wrestling. It was all Kathy Koja's fault, I have to say. But Steve wasn't much help. Why don't you go first?
Because you have to.
Okay. I made some notes and I can't read them, so you'll forgive me if I extemporize a bit. First of all, the most enormous thanks to the Horror Writers Association, to the judges, to the committee, to the members for such an amazing honor. It can't be 40 years, Steve. I think it probably, 15, 16, maybe 10. But it has been a bit of a roller coaster. I wouldn't be here today, I wouldn't be doing what I do today without people like you, conventions like this, and most importantly without Steve, but he'll be knocked if I say that, but he did take me to the very first convention, and a lot of what we did together. I look around, and you didn't half my speech, did you read it? I look around and I see so many people I don't yet know, and it just makes my heart thrill, because horror's been through some hard times. You know, we were there at the beginning when it really took off, and we saw all these cool writers come out of nowhere. Dan Simmons, Chet Williamson, some chap called Tom Monteleone, F. Paul Wilson, you know, all those names that Steve named came out of nowhere and made something special out of this field that we so love. And then the hard times hit. Partially, I think, because publishers who didn't know what they were doing jumped on bandwagons and just published anything they could get their hands on. And because, whether we like it or not, times change, wheels go up, wheels come down, and especially within our linked genres of fantasy, science fiction, and horror. And so horror went through some dark, dark years. What I think is so amazing is that people kept going. They might not have been able to be published on the big lists, but thank heavens for small presses, for independent presses. You know, at that time, we didn't have self-publishing. We had vanity publishing, which was nothing like the same. So we had to rely on people publishing in small ways, but such influential ways. And a lot of people came up through that, so that when mainstream publishers were once again able to look at horror and not say, well, I've got to make it dark fantasy, or I've got to call it science fiction, or I've got to call it romance or whatever, because it's the only way I can publish it, then there you all were, because you'd been beavering away, learning your craft, and all of a sudden now horror is, you know, respectable again. We've got writers turning out amazing stuff. We've got artists doing just amazing things. I mean, I'm in Denver, so I have to say, awesome. And I am so very proud that I'm standing here today. I'm standing here on the shoulders of giants, and I am so proud and grateful for everything they did to make me here with one of my best friends. Stop crying. Just, you haven't even gone yet. So thank you. I can stop now, otherwise she won't be able to say a word. Thank you, everyone, for this. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And Steve, you are the main reason I'm here. So thank you.
I'm really sorry I made her go first. Okay, I'm done. No, I too want to thank everyone in HWA, the committees, the judges. I especially want to thank Karen Lansdale, Joe Lansdale, and Robert R. Rick McCammon for starting Howl, the Horror and Occult Writers League, from which we sprang. It took $5 and 3 sales to be able to be a full member of Howl. And at the, I think it was World Fantasy in Arizona is where you could go sign up. Karen had a notebook with ruled notebook paper, and you could give her your name, and we didn't have email then. So you got your name and address. And Joe very sweetly said, now, have you had 3 sales? And I said, yes. And I told him what they were, and he went, oh, you little rascal. So I like to think somewhere, Joe probably doesn't remember that, but I never forgot that briefly I was Joe R. Lansdale's little rascal. So it's been a long haul. Joe's right. There have been ups and downs. I'm now an emotional mess. I hate you. And as I said to her when we were arm wrestling, because I was trying to psych her out, I said, all you guys have in England is dudes who paint their faces blue and jump through bonfires. And she still won. And it's Koja's fault. Hi, Kathy Koja, wherever you are. John Palisano, we so miss you.
We do.
We miss you. We are exactly like the Mormon Church because we know all the names of our presidents. And I want to say thank you to all the people who have been our presidents. RIP, especially Rocky Wood, who did so much. Who did so much to grow this organization while he was with us. I really want to thank my personal family, my micro family, Tutu, Wackel, and il mio marito, Marco, ti amo tantissimo, amore. I thank my family. I thank my father, who used to say, wouldn't it be funny if you became a writer? Because my maiden name is Jones. I'm actually Steve's twin, but not a lot of people know that.
Explains so much.
I know. And he used to say, wouldn't it be funny if you could say, written by Nancy Jones, a pen name? And he used to dream about my becoming something artistic. He was a psychiatrist, and he thought that was very cut and dry. And my grandmother and my father encouraged me to write. My father and I loved languages. We studied languages together. We read Esperanto, and it was a fabulous, fabulous treasure that I have in my family, that I had readers. My father died with one filling in his mouth, which he created with a toothbrush because he used to read mysteries while he brushed his teeth. And he would brush for so long that he made a hole in his tooth. And I used to watch him read. And my grandfather and my father would trade these huge boxes of books, mysteries, every time that we would get together. And so it was a fabulous, fabulous treasure and a present that they gave me, but a wonderful, fabulous treasure that I have is you. Especially you new writers. Don't give up, don't be frustrated, just keep frickin' writing and shut up about the rest, just do it. I want to thank all the editors I've had who are in this room and who have passed on. I want to thank my mentor, Charles L. Grant. And I want to thank you, my twin, and my other editors who are in the room, Debbie, Tom, lots of editors. Thank you so, so much for this honor. I'm a little overcome. I should have gone first, but this means the world to me. And I just simply cannot thank you enough. Thank you.
We have one more Lifetime Achievement Award to give tonight. As the chair of the Lifetime Achievement Award Committee this year, this is a great pleasure and honor for me to give. Suzuki Koji is the first Asian writer to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award, and representation matters. Suzuki Koji is a Japanese writer who was born in Hamamatsu and currently lives in Tokyo. He writes mystery and nonfiction, including a number of books on fatherhood and motorcycle travel, but we celebrate him tonight for his contributions to world horror. He is largely known in English through the filmed adaptations of several of his books and their American remakes, the international success of which has obscured his wide-ranging domestic output. After a few other novels, it was with Ringu The Ring, a supernatural detective drama that Suzuki first found success. I highly recommend the English translation by Robert B. Romer and Glenn Wally. If all you know of The Ring is Gore Verbinski's film, which is also very good in its own right, I dare say you don't know The Ring. Suzuki then later wrote the linked works Rasen, Spiral, and Birthday, which was a collection of linked stories, all of which are connected by a curse in the form of a psychic virus, recalling the troubled life and violent death of a murdered telepath, now imparted with pandemic potential through its migration to video. He seems prescient now. The Ring series was completed with the later novels S and Tide in 2012 and 2013. The novels and the films they have inspired have transformed world horror and made us all absolutely terrified of dead wet girls. He also wrote several short story collections, including Death in the Flower and Honogurai Mizu no Sokokara, From the Depths of the Dark Water, which was later made into the film of the same name called Dark Water in English. His 2008 novel Edge, an apocalyptic horror story, begins with a huge earthquake in California, and it shows a master at the top of his form. And as someone who lives in Los Angeles, it terrified the hell out of me. In short, no Suzuki, no J-horror. His novels, short stories, and manga have profoundly transformed the world of horror, and for this reason, the HWA honors Suzuki Koji Sensei with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sensei, arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you for what you have given us. Suzuki Sensei could not be here tonight, but he sent a video, which he recorded in English, which will be up on the StokerCon website. Like and subscribe. No, it's okay. But he does say he is very grateful to have received the award because it was given by other horror writers. And so we know his struggle, and he very much appreciates that. He also mentions that he rode his motorcycle across the United States a few decades back, and he says he stopped in Denver, so he knows where we are. I don't think he meant it as a threat, but don't turn on your TV in the hotel tonight. Just out of an abundance of caution. So congratulations to Suzuki Koji. Very exciting. Arigatou gozaimasu. To present the President's Award, since John Palisano cannot be here, we have invited Bulbous Brad Hobson. And the reason why some people are laughing now because they've heard this story, if you're wondering why I'm calling him Bulbous Brad Hobson, find him after this and ask him for the story about the TSA at LAX and why he will now carry this nickname forever. He is here to present the Richard Lehmann President's Award. Bulbous, please come up.
Isn't Kevin doing a great job tonight? So, the President's Award, I've been very honored to receive it myself in the past, and it's given to someone who steps up and goes above and beyond in their volunteer duties to the organization. Our president, John Palisano, can't be here tonight. Most of you think he has COVID. I know he's actually binge watching Twin Peaks. But he did send me a statement. Before I read it, though, however, I've been given a microphone, and I'm a ham, so I'm going to say something. Tonight's recipient, I just want to say, as admin, I've been very thankful, has been a part of the org. They immediately came in a few years back, called us out on our bullshit, suggested fixes for said bullshit, and then dove in head first to implement those fixes. And as admin, I've been very honored to work with them, and I think the org is a much better organization because of their involvement. Now to read John's statement. To Sumiko, when discussions came up this year as to whom award the President's Award, one name immediately came to mind, yours. You've taken on a new role of social media manager, overseeing several other volunteers. You've done so with empathy and professionalism, and you've elevated our social media platforms to an entirely new level. You've taken on every task thrown at you, and there have been many, and made sure all the breaking news of the HWA is shared far and wide. In addition, you've been a champion for diversity. Your initiatives brought forth HWA's first ever celebration of Pride last June. Yes. And you've made sure we continue with so many other voices being celebrated, such as Asian heritage, deaf and hard of hearing, Jewish heritage, Black history, Indian heritage, and even more in concert with our Diverse Works Committee. Not only have you made the HWA a better place, but you're also making the world a better place. This award reflects mine and our gratitude for all that you do. Thank you. Signed, John Palisano. Ladies and gentlemen, Sumiko Salson.
Hi there. First of all, I didn't write a speech because I am a pantser. But I have to admit that I did scroll through the previous award winners because I wanted to see if I was the first Black recipient, which I kind of think I am. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go with 100%. I'm the first non-binary recipient, so there's that. Thank you, Brad. So I guess y'all did not forget about how I called y'all out in a national Black newspaper, the San Francisco Bayview, with a column called Stoker So White. Yeah, but my mother, Carolyn Salson, who passed away at the beginning of 2019, told me when I was still working as an Apple computer repair and networking technician that I need to give back to the community. So to me, giving back to the community means that you not just call people out and call people in, but that you're there to do the work. Okay. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're first or not. What matters is that you show up and do the work, because the work doesn't get done by itself. Now, that said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, my name is Sumiko Salson. I have bipolar disorder with psychotic features, and I have post-traumatic stress disorder. And back in Long Beach in 2017, I think it was, I really was not doing well. And Marge Simon came up to me and said, "Are you okay?" And I was not okay. You probably don't know what the psychotic features part means, but what it means is that when I'm not doing well, you know, if you don't know anything about psychiatry and psychology, you probably think that I have schizophrenia because those are the only people with psychosis, right? No, guess what? Bipolar people get psychotic too. So I was running around talking to myself because my former fiance was sick and was coming to the end of his life. He died, and my mother had cancer, and she was getting, you know, worse, and she died. And I know I can get really sick. And I bring this up as I accept this award to remind all of you that this is a volunteer-run organization, that all around arts, nonprofits, and nonprofits in general, a whole bunch of disabled people are showing up every day to do the work. Sometimes we show up because, like me, you know, you can't work at a regular job when you're talking to yourself. You can write some really great horror stories, you know, because you're talking to all your characters and your characters are talking to you. And then you're deciding you're a system and your characters and you are all personalities in here together. But you can't really go to a day job while you're talking to yourself. Okay. What you can do is work on social media stuff behind a computer screen. So I'm doing pretty well and I'm up here and I'm looking pretty sane, sane passing and all that. But um, you know, remember disabled people and seniors who are retired are the backbone of nonprofits everywhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And you know, I try to have a good like attitude and not get mad when people criticize me too much because, you know, I don't feel like raising my blood pressure or going back in the psych ward. And, you know, I guess you'd have to be crazy to want to be the social media manager after, you know, you got done writing, you know, Stoker's So White and all that. Unfortunately, I am. So, you know, here I am. Um, I want to say that this convention has come a really long way since I came here in 2016. I was the first Bram Stoker scholarship from hell recipient. And when I showed up, I got put on a diversity panel. Okay. Now, I think everybody here knows we're not just good for diversity panels. We're good for other stuff too. And and you see lots and lots of diverse people here. The diversity series is not about, well, let me put it in the positive. What it is about is it is like everything social media related, a way to actually get more members for this organization. How it helps us get more members is by letting people see how diverse the world of horror writing is so that everyone knows that the doors are open, that they are all welcome here. And now I'm going to start doing the thanking people stuff. Okay. First, I want to thank Rain Graves, who is a Bram Stoker winning poet who introduced me to Linda Addison, and Marge Simon, and made sure that when I came here in 2016 that I would be safe and someone would be looking out for me, you know, Rain's crazy friend. Um, also, I want to thank John because without him, none of this stuff would have happened. Honestly, you had to have a president who wanted to see change and was down for the change, and he was. I want to thank Gabrielle Faust, who was the first person who was talking to me about these things that became a reality on the social media team. So I'm talking about this stuff with Gabrielle, and Gabrielle's like, yeah, this can be a thing. Let's go talk to John. And we did go talk to John, and the things happened. I want to thank everybody on the entire social media team. There's a lot of us. And I want to also thank Lila Denning because my solution to things is to get more volunteers. If things aren't going right or something falls through the tracks, I just think we need to find more volunteers. So I'm always like, Lila, find us some more HTML programmers. Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank my beloved partner and sweetheart, Emily Flummox, talented slam poet, that Faye R, for hopping on Spirit Airlines and getting on the scary discount flight to Denver with me to attend this convention. And taking the bus 45 minutes from that cheap Motel 6 down by the airport that we're staying at. Okay, so thank you. Mad love to all y'all.
Our next award is Superior Achievement in Short Fiction. Here to present it is Cherie Renee Thomas and Usman Malik.
This way.
This way.
Before we came up, Sheree and I were talking about short fiction and how important it is to our field. Short fiction is the bone marrow of horror. That's where a lot of people cut their teeth. And Sheree is an editor, and I'm a short fiction writer mostly. And whatever I have done in horror has come through short fiction, so I'm especially delighted to present it.
I'm super honored to be at my first StokerCon this year, so thank you so much. And to arrive as a guest of honor is pretty amazing, so thank you. Stories are the spirit and soul of a people. It is a pleasure and a joy to create what I believe is the most masterful form of storytelling, that short story. Editing it takes a special gift and an eye, and we've seen some great editors celebrate it tonight. And we're going to celebrate some wonderful writers who have brought a unique and special theme to their storytelling.
So the nominees for Superior Achievement in Short Fiction are Carol Geisander for the Yellow Crown Under Twin Suns from the anthology Under Twin Suns, Alternate Histories of the Yellow Sign by Hippocampus Press.
Lee Murray, Permanent Damage, Attack from the 80s, Raw Dog Screaming Press.
Cindy O'Quinn, A Gathering at the Mountain, The Bad Book, Bleeding Edge Books.
Anna Taborska, Two Shakes of a Dead Lamb's Tail, Terror Tales of the Scottish Lowlands, Telos Publishing.
And our last nominee is Kala Lee Ward for A Whisper in the Death Pit from Weird Book 44, Wildside Press.
And now the winner of the short fiction, Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement, Lee Murray, Permanent Damage, Attack from the 80s, Raw Dog Screaming Press. Oh my gosh.
Oh God, I didn't do a piece of paper. For those of you who have read the story, Permanent Damage, you'll know I dug really deep into my personal experience for this one. It's a story of, from the 80s, of a bridezilla turned Medusa. I can't really believe this. I'd like to thank Eugene Johnson for believing in this story, and to Jennifer and John at Raw Dog Screaming Press for putting the book together, for my fellow contributors. I especially want to thank and acknowledge the other people on this category, Carol Geisander, Kyla Lee Ward, Cindy O'Quinn, Anna Toboska. They're my friends. They've supported me. They've signal boosted my work. They are an absolutely fabulous coven of darkness. Please read their work. I love them. And thank you everybody so much.
We are coming into the home stretch, folks. For the superior achievement in a screenplay, Brian Keene and Maurice Brodus are coming to the stage.
You look good.
Yeah. So we were going to do some shtick.
He was going to do some shtick.
And then Kevin got to talking about everybody's fashion sense, and now I'm staring at purple paisley.
All right, you like it? I bought it because I bought this with you.
Yeah, you're keeping your Prince dreams alive is what you're doing. I get it.
Says the man that's going to take 4th place in the Morse Day cosplay contest after this.
You know what? You know what? You got jokes. You got jokes. Why don't you read this list for us?
All right, the nominees for superior achievement in a screenplay are C. Henry Chasen, Nick Antosca, and Scott Cooper for Antlers from Searchlight Pictures. Oh, you're doing excellent.
I'm just here to look pretty.
Here to look pretty.
I'm just here to look pretty. Go ahead.
Excuse me while I finish laughing at that. Well, you did bring shtick. Hung Dong Yak for Squid Game Season 1, Episode 1, Red Light, Green Light from Siren Pictures. Mike Flanagan, James Flanagan, and Jeff Howard for Midnight Mass, Season 1, Episode 6, Book 6, Intrepid Pictures. Phil Graziade and Lee Janiak for Fear Street, Part 1, 1994, Chernin Entertainment. And Jordan Peele, Wynn Rosenfeld, and Nia DaCosta for Candyman, Universal Pictures.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to... Oh, okay. Mike Flanagan, James Flanagan, and Jeff Howard. Midnight Mass, Season 1, Episode 6.
Yeah, sorry that it took a minute to get up here. I sat in the back because I was sure we were going to get Squid Game, which I love. It's a great show. I don't have much prepared, by which I mean nothing. So I'm just going to pull up this email that has the names of all the people who wrote this on it, because otherwise I'm going to forget. Written by, right? That really just reflects final execution. It never reflects communal ideation in a writer's room. And it is so important, I think, to acknowledge everyone who wrote on the show. And there are so many wonderful people who did. So on behalf of course, Mike Flanagan, myself, and Jeff Howard, thank you very much. But also on behalf of Gabe Hobson, on behalf of Elon Gale, Danny Parker, Joyce Sherry, Teresa Sutherland, our DP, Michael Fimignari, our producer, Trevor Macy over at Intrepid, and an incredible ensemble cast that used subtext to elevate every word we wrote into something far greater than we could have imagined. The word beat became art out of people like Hamish Linklater and Kate Siegel. And it's just a real thrill to have been a part of something like this. So thank you guys so much. And I'm gonna stop shaking and stop talking, and thank you.
And so we come to the final lonely Stoker, all bereft up there by itself. So let's send it home. To present the award for superior achievement in a novel, Jennifer McMahon and Becky Spratford.
This is so exciting.
You know what they don't want us to do? They don't want us to stall.
Okay, we're not gonna
No,
stall.
we
We're not
are.
gonna- oh, we're gonna. Oh, okay.
We want to.
How you doing tonight,
I'm
Becky?
good. How are you? We've been having fun all
Everybody
weekend.
having fun? Yeah. Okay.
We actually do really seriously want to give a chance for every single nominee to get a round of applause because this is a very
Absolutely.
big deal. So
It's
we
a
would like
big
to do
deal.
this.
You guys rock.
Should we make them wait more?
Well, I think we should just go
All
ahead.
right.
Come on, people.
Nominees
People
for
wanna know.
superior
I wanna
achievement
know.
in a novel are
Violet Castro, the queen of the cicadas, Flame Tree Press.
Grady Hendricks, the Final Girl Support Group, Berkeley.
Stephen Graham Jones, My Heart is a Chainsaw, Gallery Saga Press.
My fellow chapter member, Cynthia Pelayo, Children of Chicago, Agora Books.
Chuck Wendig, The Book of Accidents, Del Rey.
And you start opening.
All right.
And the Bram Stoker Award goes to
Stephen Graham Jones, My Heart is a Chainsaw.
accepting for Stephen Graham Jones is Mackenzie Kira.
And don't forget to take the thing for him. Okay. Hi, I'm Mackenzie Kira. I'm super not Stephen Graham Jones. He's my friend, and I was a former student. And he, just in case he won, I was like, "Do you want me to say anything for you?" And he's like, "You can ad lib." And I said, "No, please send me something." So, pardon me. He'd like to say how all the other books on the ballot are the amazing ones, and that those writers deserve all of the good. He also wants to say thank you to BJ Robbins, to Joe Monty, and everybody at Saga. And then, last of course, not just the readers, but the people who love the horror, who know all these slashers by heart. He'd also like to thank Freddie, Michael, Jason, Ghostface, really, Deborah Hill and Joe Carpenter, Wes Craven, and Kevin Williamson. He'd also like to thank his wife, Nancy, who is on every page in every book, and his children who watch slashers with him. That's how he knows he's in the right house. He wanted me to end with a quote, so this is from him. It says, "Thank you, Jade Daniels, for letting me hang out with you. You've got a good heart. It's loud and smoky and scary, but that's kind of why I love you." He'd also like to say, "I'd like to remind everyone that Don't Fear the Reaper is out February 2023. And thank you, thank you."
I realize it is late and we are warm. It looks like church in July over here with all the fanning. But we do have two last bits of business, if you don't mind. Before I summon these next gentlemen to the stage to tell us about next year, and they don't know that I was going to do this, we owe a debt of gratitude for what seems like the past 700 years. Two people have been running the Bram Stoker Awards and the StokerCon tirelessly, sometimes thanklessly, but always with a drive and a determination to provide the best possible conference experience ever. To make something seem this effortless requires Herculean effort behind the scenes. And so I could go for hours about these two gentlemen with whom I've worked. with whom I have become friends and whom I love and admire very much. We owe them a debt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go on. Can we please thank James Chambers and Brian Matthews for all their work? I didn't say to come up. No, because now the second thing I have to do is say, telling about StokerCon 2023, please welcome to the stage, oh God, James Chambers and Brian W. Matthews.
Do we get to keep the trophies?
Thank you, Kevin, for that thank you. And thank you all for being here with us this evening, tonight, this weekend, this convention. Between Brian and I, we've had a hand in StokerCon since 2018 when I co-chaired with Lisa Morton in Providence. Brian co-chaired Grand Rapids in 2019, or were you the only chair?
No, Lisa.
Oh, with Lisa Morton. Yeah. Again, yes. 2020, we know, was the year that everything stopped. StokerCon was supposed to take place in Brighton in the UK. And we are very pleased for the UK crew to see that their convention will be going on soon. Oh, I'm sorry, Scarborough. Thank you for the correction. And in a couple of weeks, they will be going on despite some last minute, even bigger hurdles that they are facing. We have the greatest admiration for Paul and Marie and for all that they've done to keep that convention alive. Brian and I thought we would be doing this a year ago in Denver, in this hotel, and that didn't happen either. We made it this year, and we're so glad we could share it with all of you. And I think I speak for Brian when I say that we are also equally glad that we will not be doing this next year.
I second that. It's been 2 long years for this convention. And I want to thank everybody who showed up. I would like to thank everybody who came up and said, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the programming. Thank you for the attention to detail. Thank you for just helping me find a room, Grady. So I am very tired and I want to get this done with. So thank you all for everything. I'm very happy to have done this. I'm very happy for you to have enjoyed this. And Jim and I are going to now hand the reins over to another crew.
So we'd like to invite up to the stage with us now, Michael Arnzen, Sarah Tantlinger, and Ben Rubin. Please come up and join us.
Jeez, a hug.
Good luck.
God, they want to retire so badly. Another round of applause to James Chambers and Brian Matthews and everybody who made this a great con. Hey, look, folks, we want you to come join us in Pittsburgh 2023. I was kind of hoping you guys would chant with me and go like, StokerCon, StokerCon, but maybe not. Hey, look, it doesn't matter where it is, it's where you're going, right? Pittsburgh is often called Steel City. It's often called the City of Bridges. It's a place you might be familiar with because of Steelers and Penguins and Pirates. That's right. It's the land of Mr. Rogers and Andy Warhol. It's the land of Rocky Blyer and George Romero. It's a place of Gene Kelly and Michael Keaton. And The Dark Knight was filmed there, man. Okay. It's a place of Gwendolyn Keist and Stephanie Wojtovich and Zoe Stage and Stuart Onan and us. Yeah, and the Monroeville Mall, okay, which I bet you'll all go to when you come out there. We want you to be a part of our legacy. We want you to come to StokerCon 2023 in Pittsburgh. I'm going to introduce my co-chairs here, Sarah Tantlinger and Ben Rubin. And Ben's going to tell you a little bit about a special part of StokerCon 2023.
So Pittsburgh is, of course, known as the zombie capital of the world because George Romero made all of his films there. He introduced us to the modern conception of the zombie, and of course, his archives are now there, and I have the honor of being the curator of them.
Yeah.
That, of course, also led us to now have the only archives for horror in the world. And it means that we have the archives of the HWA, and so many of the writers that are here, including our wonderful keynote, Linda D Addison's papers. So we hope from when you come next year, you'll be able to see some of the treasures of this archive. And truly, when we're all in Pittsburgh together, it will be the horror capital of the world.
Hi. We are very excited to welcome you to Pittsburgh, and we're very determined to make it a fantastic convention. One of the many things that makes StokerCon so fantastic is the guests of honor. We have a few of those that will be rolling out over time, but I would like to announce two of those tonight, and I believe they are both here. So we are very pleased to welcome guest of honor number one, Daniel Kraus. And guest of honor number two, Cynthia Palaio. We will have so much more information on the way, obviously. We'll be sending emails and newsletters and all of that. You can follow HWA Pittsburgh on Twitter. We'll be posting things there too. The website's being built. Everything is underway. And we can't wait for you to come party in Pittsburgh with us.
Hey, thanks, everybody. You know, our theme is going to be continuity without COVID. So look forward to seeing you all in 2023.
And now for the final event of the evening to give the closing prayer and benediction is the Vice President of HWA, Megan R. Curry.
I'll keep it short, I promise. I just want to say congratulations to the winners and the nominees tonight. You guys are all amazing. Thank you to Bear Mountain Media for sponsoring this event, and to all our sponsors throughout the weekend. We appreciate it. Thank you to our Lifetime Achievement Award winners, Nancy, Joe, and Koji. Thank you to our guests of honor, Gemma, Cherie, Brian, John, and Ernest Dickerson, who of course couldn't be here with us this weekend because he had a family engagement, but he was a judge at Final Frame, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate his interview for the souvenir book. So thank you to all of you very much. Thanks again to the Curtis. Thank you to all the volunteers for StokerCon and for the HWA. And thank you, attendees, for coming, because we would be nothing without you. We appreciate it. Just a couple quick announcements. If all of the winners for tonight could please come up over here, we'd like to get a group photo. And also the Lifetime Achievement Award winners come up as well. We would like a photo for you too. Thank you very much. And we have a dance party in the next room, Marco Polo, with Stephen Van Patten as the DJ, and he is awesome. So I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for coming to StokerCon 2022.
No, I did. Congratulations, sir. You are free.
Does somebody have like a camera for this? Or